Hello, welcome to Guns and Gear. Today is September the 11th, 2010. And it's a significant day, a day which I'll never forget. I was going to do a tribute video to the folks that have lost their lives, to the folks that worked so hard to rescue others, to the folks that had defended us in uniform overseas. But this morning I was watching MSNBC, and they were rebroadcasting their coverage all morning long of that dreadful day, September the 11th, 2001. And I thought to myself, I remembered where I was. I remember how I felt. I remember watching these events unfold. And I thought I would share that, and that would be my tribute. And hopefully others will do the same, because we never should forget the emotions we felt that day. And we never should allow the young people coming up not to know about that day. September the 11th, 2001, like many other days, I was at work. I've mentioned before, I'm a lineman, underground lineman for a power company here in Virginia. And 6 o'clock, we were all meeting at our foreman's desk. He was handing out the assignments of the day. He turned to a group of us and said, I want you guys to go to Newport News. There was a job we need for you to do there, cable replacement. I remember thinking to myself, crap. I mean, I work in Virginia Beach. I don't want to go to Newport News. That means we got to go through the Hampton Tunnel. And Lord God, in the morning, the traffic is just horrible. But we went out to our trucks. We got our tools together, our equipment, and off we went. And yes, the traffic was horrible. But we got there. We assessed the job and we began to work. And at some point in that late morning, I had gone to my truck to retrieve the tool, material, something, I don't quite remember. And I had a cell phone. And young people today may not be able to comprehend this, but not everybody had a cell phone then. And not all of us that had them kept them with us all the time. I kept mine in my lunchbox. But I did keep it on, and I would periodically check it because I was a shop steward. Sometimes there were issues that would arise that I needed to attend to. I looked at my phone and I had over 20 messages. And I was like, man, good Lord, what's going on now? And the first several messages were for my wife. And she was saying, oh my God, honey, we're being attacked. They've flown a plane into one of the World Trade Centers. And another message, my God, honey, there's car bombs going off all over New York City. They've attacked a building in, I think it's the Hancock building in Chicago. And all these reports were coming in. She worked in an office and they had a TV there. She was watching. I had a message from my foreman. Hey Van, we can't reach y'all by radio. I need you to all get together and come back to the office ASAP, right now. So oddly enough, I ended up calling my foreman first. I'm like, what's going on? He said, Van, there's something going on. We need you guys to pack up, come back to the office. I said, well, we're kind of in the middle of something right here. And he goes, Van, shut it down and get back to the office. So I got everybody together and I told them that. And we made the job safe, and headed back. I remember getting on the interstate, heading back to the shop, and there was a Ryder truck behind me. And I remember, and the Oklahoma City bombing was fresh in my memory. And I did not want that Ryder truck around me when I went through that tunnel. I moved over, he moved over. I changed lanes again, and so did he. I slowed down, I sped up. Whatever I did, that truck was still there. I was like, crap. Then we all came to a stop on the interstate there, a couple of miles before the tunnel. Just piled up traffic. And the state police had gotten there, and they had set up at the inspection lane. And they were diverting all the commercial vehicles, all large vehicles, vans, trucks, what have you. And they were inspecting them. I remember when we got up there, the state trooper was standing there. I said, "What's going on, man?" He said, "Well, there's a safety concern. We want to make sure we inspect these vehicles before they go through the tunnel." I said, "My wife was saying there's some kind of an attack." He said, "We've got a safety concern. We need to inspect your vehicle." And while he was talking to me, there was a couple of guys going through the truck. And I remember looking at him and I said, I got a Ryder truck behind me, and I do not want to go through the tunnel with that truck. And he kind of chuckled. He went, "Don't worry, sir. We're going to be inspecting all these vehicles thoroughly." So we went through the tunnel, got back to the office. Our office, there was only one or two TV monitors, and hundreds of us piled around watching the events take place, unfold right in front of us. I remember the horror. I remember the bewilderment, the confusion. I remember the sorrow. I remember the anger. I remember all these emotions, sometimes all at once, flowing through me. Later, that evening at home, my wife and I glued to the TV set, watching as the pieces were beginning to be put together on what had occurred. Watching the images of the smoking hole in our Pentagon. Watching the towers being hit, the explosion of the fuel, the debris flying from the buildings. People even jumping from the top of those buildings to escape the flames. I remember seeing those buildings fall. Couldn't believe it. I remember loading up my guns. My God, if they're going to attack us, I'm going to fight. I remember the efforts of the firefighters, the rescue workers, the police, the hospitals, the average citizen rushing to that rubble, hoping to rescue someone. I remember looking at a smoky field in Pennsylvania where another plane had went down. I remember wanting to do something. Now, I was not exactly a young man. I was in my mid to late 30s. I wanted to do something. I remember the days after, people from all over this country swarmed to New York City to help in a rescue effort. What I remember most is it didn't matter if you were black or white, Didn't matter if you were a Christian, didn't matter if you were Muslim, uh, Jew, atheist, Republican, Democrat, Yankee, rebel. We were all New Yorkers. And we all stood together and were ready to fight. And that's my message for this day, September the 11th, 2010. You may effectively hurt us again. You may attack us. But don't misunderstand our bickering amongst each other. We will stand together. We will fight you. We will destroy you. You know, we have vast resources here in this nation, and we have a mighty military. But the core of this nation is the people. And we will stand together. And we will fight you. Thank you for watching. Take care.